And then I was thinking that next week we could go to the zoo. Wouldn't that be fun?
Kohler, what the hell are you doing?
I'm having some alone time with the Wii.
Ugh. Yeah, about that. We've been getting a lot of complaints the way you only cover the Wii. You know, there are 3 consoles on the market. Got the new PlayStation 3 controller in. Maybe we could do something on that.
Yeah, but I mean, the people who make Line Rider are coming in today. Line Rider, and they're going to show us the Wii version. Can't we do it?
Line Rider's cool. But you got to balance it out.
Okay. Look, how about I'll review Viking Battle for Asgard? It's on PlayStation 3 and 360, so it's like a twofer.
I guess that works. But I tell you what, I'm going to leave this door open so we can see what you're doing in here, okay?
Shh. No, they'll never take you away from me, don't worry. Okay, so today we've got Chris Keenan of In Exile Entertainment. They're the publishers of Line Rider 2 Unbound, which is coming out on the PC,
Correct.
the Wii, and the DS.
Yep.
You are the producer of the game.
Yep.
And so you are going to tell us all about it.
It's physics-based, and what you do is you draw the environment around a little virtual slider. And so, as opposed to most games where you control the actual main character, what you do here is you modify the environment, you press play, and the slider will go down with physics based upon what the environment is. So you can get him doing loop-de-loops, you can get him riding on the nose, and flipping around. And it is something that, you know, the younger crowd, the not quite so artistic crowd like me, can go through and just play and have fun throwing the slider around, getting him doing tricks. And the people that are a little more artistic can make these amazing creations with it. The basics of what we wanted is we want to make sure that we added on to this Flash version. And we want to make sure that we added more tools, more line types, new features associated with that. We also wanted to create a game around it. And so we added the story mode, we added a puzzle mode to it. And so the freestyle is all the core elements that you have from the original Line Rider with these extra tools. And then as you go into story mode, we've added, as you can see behind us here, we've added green region boxes. And so basically you have a starting point and a finish point. And you've got to draw inside those region boxes and figure out how you're going to get the guy from the start point to the finish unharmed. We wanted to make sure that people would be able to make very impressive tracks, because as you see with the Flash version, there's a pretty big difference between, you know, someone that's maybe not quite as talented artistically and somebody like Tech Dog, who goes through and he's made, you know, the Dog Song, Transcendental, and all these huge, you know, triumphant tracks. And so we want to make sure that you know, these younger players and people like me could go through there, and we've included clip art that you go and stamp into the game. As well, we've done things with different layers and backgrounds. And so you can draw things in a background that's going to scroll at a slower rate, as well as things in the foreground that the rider will go and pass behind. And so this creates a 3D effect using parallax. And so you'll be able to see the tracks that look like they're in a lot of 3D, similar to the way that like an old Mario Brothers game would do it.
All right. I'm very excited to play this. This is coming out in the summer?
Yes, sometime.
Okay. So at some point in the summer, we'll be able to play Line Rider 2 Unbound,
Absolutely.
PC, Wii,
DS.
DS. Thank you very much, Chris, for being
Thank you.
here. On today's video game review segment, I'd like to talk to you guys about what makes a video game addictive. Now, some games are addictive because of the story. You really want to find out what happens next. Some are addictive because of the way the gameplay ramps up just so, and you've got to keep yourself going to the next challenge, and the next one, and the next one. And then some games are addictive because, I don't know, just because they're addictive. Just like Viking Battle for Asgard. Available now for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, Viking is from Creative Assembly and Sega, the team that brought you Spartan Total Warrior. Viking leaves ancient Greece behind and drops you into ancient Norse mythology. As Skarin, a warrior brought back to life by the goddess Freya, you've got to liberate the island of Midgard from Hell's demons. Yes, I realize this is not exactly newly fallen snow we're trotting on here, but the story isn't important. In fact, it's not really told very well, and the few cinema scenes are forgettable. But that's just less BS to get in the way of the action. As Skarin, you'll single-handedly take back your kingdom from the evil blue guys, hacking them to bits with your sword and axe. Combat is okay. It's not God of War, but finishing off an indigo demon with a big, well-timed sword slice that hacks off his head and arms all at once? What could be happier? The game's got a Grand Theft Auto-style open world, although your only transportation is your own 2 feet. You'll run from farm to quarry to distillery, liberating key military posts and rescuing your fellow kidnapped loinclothed barbarians. Now, you can't just walk into these occupied territories. You'll get killed. What you've got to do is sneak around the perimeter, knocking off guards and archers one by one, thinning out their ranks. Yes, the giant, lumbering Skarin has all of the stealth ability of a pregnant rhinoceros. But to balance that out, your enemies have the intelligence of half a potato chip, so it works. So why is it so addictive? It's the carrot and stick approach to game design. Viking constantly dangles just one more little easily accomplished goal in front of your face. Hey, why don't you liberate this town? Why don't you rescue these soldiers? One more level. One more level. It works because there's no loading time. The whole map loads when you turn the game on, and that's it. And because of the aforementioned lack of cinema scenes and BS, all the fluff is stripped away, and you're left with gameplay that keeps you up until 3 in the morning. Once you've liberated enough towns, you'll join together with literally 1,000 other warriors and siege an enemy stronghold. This is really impressive stuff, watching countless warriors and mages battle it out. But the action slows to a crawl during these scenes. I guess it's too much for 360 and PS3 to handle. Viking doesn't do any one thing particularly well. The story is silly, the combat is merely okay, and the graphics are basically borderline. But because its designers understand how to keep a player hooked, it's actually a lot more fun than some games that might be more polished in other areas. I think that's a lesson that a lot of game designers should take to heart. And that's why we give Viking Battle for Asgard a Valhalla approved 7 out of 10.